What's up, YouTube? It's Jeff Tuffner here on the Glorious Podcast with my Monday Night Raw review, the October 30th, 2017 edition. And let me tell you, Braun Strowman saved the damn show for me, at least, because I was passed out practically the entire third hour of the show tonight. This was easily one of the longest episodes of Raw I've ever been through. I don't know why, and I'm not even shitting on it that much too. I've seen worse, but this one just felt so long tonight. I don't know why. But maybe it was because there was a lot of matches. I felt like it was just match, and I could have sworn it was like last week I was complaining about how there was a lack of matches and too many promos and all that stuff, and then they completely reversed it this week, and now it's just a bunch of matches with like a little bit of promos here and there. I mean, especially not like I don't know the third hour. Like I passed out during the there was a match between Heath Slater, Rhino, and the Gallows and Anderson. I missed that entire match. I woke up and I didn't even know what was going on. The cruiserweights, I saw a little bit of that. I remember last thing I remember seeing was Kane, and I don't even know Kane beating up Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Dean Ambrose. I don't even know Kane's getting a major push in 2017. That's all I remember. But man, the show it was just unfortunately it had somewhat potential to start the show too, because Stephanie McMahon returns to open the show. And then right after that, Nia Jax returns. And then right after that, Samoa Joe returns. So just like that, you got three big returns right there. Like, just like that out of the gate. But it was just, I don't know. I felt like specifically the Samoa Joe return. Specifically him alone. You can make a case for Nia Jax too, but Samoa Joe's return, I felt like they just wasted it almost. It was like a wasted return. I felt like they could have saved this for maybe a bigger occasion or whatever. I feel like it was just kind of a really, useless kind of way of doing it tonight, but whatever. I mean, same kind of with Nia Jax, like I said. You know what I mean? I mean, not as much with Nia Jax, but definitely with Samoa Joe. They could have saved that up for like a bigger moment or whatever, but they just threw him out there. Had a match with Apollo Crews, obviously picked up the win. Nia Jax defeats Bayley in her match. She replaces Alicia Fox in that match, and now she's on the Raw Women's team at Survivor Series. I don't think anyone else was announced for that team except for Nia Jax and obviously Alicia Fox, who's the captain of the team. And then, like I said, Stephanie McMahon returns to open the show. She goes off on Kurt. Pretty much threatens to fire Kurt and then leaves. We get Daniel Bryan. He appears backstage tonight. No invasion angle from the whole roster tonight again, but Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle have kind of a weird backstage segment. And then we get a somewhat reunion of Team Hell No. Kane and Daniel Bryan backstage, and Kane in the dark choke slams or whatever. I don't know what he did to Daniel Bryan. Nobody could see, but Kane, I don't understand why they're pushing Kane. Like, Kane is getting the biggest push out of anyone on the entire Monday Night Raw roster right now. It's just mind-blowing to me. I mean, you can make a case maybe not for Braun Strowman. I mean, I love Braun Strowman right now. I really think he is the biggest thing in this company. It looks like they've turned him face based on what we saw in the main event there. Well, at least not the main event, but the ending of the show rather. He's practically a face at this point. I mean, he's out there taking out the Miz and the Miz Taraj and everyone. I mean, the crowd's cheering, and he's doing what the crowd wants and all that stuff. And the crowd, you know what I mean? Like, he's over with the crowd. Everybody likes him. Like, they've actually, I'll give WWE props. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. And with Braun Strowman, they really nailed it with him, because I complain about how they failed with so many people on the roster, and it's just, it's unbelievable. But one of the people that they didn't fail with was Braun Strowman. They've done everything right with him so far. There's a few things I would have changed. I would have had him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal back at WrestleMania. That would have been a better idea than having Mojo Rawley, who won it. And what has he done with it? Exactly nothing. So, it would have made more sense. And everybody expected Strowman to win, too, so that would have helped. But it doesn't really matter now. I mean, he's still getting a great push right now. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before we see him up there in the main event title picture going against Brock Lesnar again, maybe. Who knows? But, man, he saved the show. I mean, the fans in Baltimore clearly weren't into the match, the main event, Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. I mean, a CM Punk chant erupted. A CM, when there's a CM Punk chant in WWE, these days, that's basically saying, no, this is boring. I actually didn't think the main event was that boring, to be honest with you. And I was just waking up, too. So, I was a little tired, too. But I thought the main event was an okay match. I don't know. Like, it kind of felt like this is a real lazy show tonight. That's what it feels like. I don't know why. And it's only gonna get worse because next week they're in Manchester, England. So that means a recorded show. And I mean, when was the last time a recorded episode of Raw was good? So, you know what I mean. Good luck avoiding all the spoilers and stuff because I can never avoid them all. You know what I mean. Just hop on Twitter once and next thing you know, there's the spoilers or whatever. So that sucks next week with it not being live. You know what I mean. SmackDown tomorrow night. I have no faith in SmackDown anymore because SmackDown has been you just killed me the last 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. I'm debating if I should even watch SmackDown anymore and review SmackDown because it's just been so bad. I might give it a few more weeks. If it gets better, a little bit better at least, then maybe I'll keep watching or whatever. But I don't know. SmackDown has just been killing me. But back to Raw. We had the Miz, Matt Hardy, Intercontinental Champion match. A couple title matches tonight. I don't even know what the hell was going on. They were just throwing random matches together through the night tonight. I mean, there were so many matches. I swear. I mean, I'm not going to go through and count them all up now, but there had to be at least like 10 matches tonight. I mean, the amount, it just felt like match after match after match, especially toward the end of the show. And it was just like, can they do something else? Maybe even, I was like begging for a promo or something. But we didn't get anything. They just kept going on with the matches. And then, obviously they ended it with a good ending with Braun Strowman returning. That was the best part of the show, in my opinion. But The Miz and Matt Hardy actually have a solid match. That was okay match. Matt Hardy wasn't going to win. They kind of teased it there for a second, but it didn't happen. They kept the title on The Miz. I don't know what Matt Hardy. I mean, we haven't seen Matt Hardy in weeks too. So I mean, they haven't really done anything with Matt Hardy since Jeff left and got the surgery and everything. You know what I mean? We all thought they were gonna do something with him. Maybe have him go broke in singles run. I don't know. He just shows up every here and now. You know what I mean? Has a match or whatever. So of course WWE's lazy with that, and they don't want to do something with them that would actually help the show and maybe have him go broken or something. You know what I mean? That would, elevate his character and elevate the entire Monday Night Raw. Because it would get more ratings. People would want to watch that. But clearly they're not going to do that. Because they just don't care. I guess they're lazy. And it's, that's how they do things over there. WWE. I missed Kurt Angle's the captain of the Raw Survivor Series men's team. So, I mean, I saw an article saying that, he would be the captain. So, presumably, Shane McMahon will be the captain of the SmackDown team as well. So it'll be like, the two GMs are the captains. And then I forget the names that I saw, but it was like for SmackDown. I don't know why. I barely remember who was for Raw. But SmackDown, it was like Randy Orton and Nakamura, Bobby Roode. I forget the other people. But I think we're supposed to find out tomorrow on SmackDown. There's supposed to be a few matches or whatever to determine who the spots go to at Survivor Series. So, we'll find out that tomorrow. What else happened on Raw tonight? Kane defeats Seth Rollins. Yeah, see, Kane. I felt like with Kane, did Kane have like 2 matches tonight? My mind was all over the place tonight. No, he didn't have 2 matches. All right, never mind. Finn Balor defeats Cesaro, and then Kane defeated Seth Rollins. But Kane came out and attacked Finn Balor after the match. That's what happened there. All right, I'm all over the place tonight. This is probably like one of the worst reviews ever of Raw because I don't even know what happened tonight. I just remember a bunch of matches happening and then like falling asleep toward the end of the show. And I feel like there's nothing to review again tonight. Like there was a lot of matches, but like what's there to talk about? There was like not really much of a storyline progression. Heading into Survivor Series, it's just they moved it along a week and whatever. You know what I mean? There's nothing significant really to talk about. I mean, Braun Strowman, that happened. That was the best part of the show. You know what I mean? The cruiserweights. I don't even remember who it was like Enzo and Drew Gulak or something, or Kalisto. They had a match. I think Enzo got involved in DQ or whatever. Who cares about the cruiserweights at this point? They're a mess. But I mean, Survivor Series, how's it? It's shaping up to be an okay card. I mean, I'm not too intrigued about a lot of the matches, to be honest. I mean, Alexa Bliss versus Natalya really isn't that intriguing to me. The Miz versus Baron Corbin, same. I am intrigued though to watch Shield, Rollins and Ambrose take on the Usos. That match I'm looking forward to. That should be a great match. And I think the 5-on-5 matches between the women's teams and the men's teams should be good in their own right. And I could care less about Jinder Mahal and Brock Lesnar, and that's probably gonna be the main event too. So that sucks. But I mean, I don't know. I just Survivor Series right now, it's kind of looking like there's a few matches, but not really that good, especially for it being a Big Four pay-per-view, too, so it's kind of disappointing how it's shaping out to be right now. Obviously, you got to give it a few more weeks. I think there's, 2 more weeks already until Survivor Series. Like I said, next week's the show over in Manchester, England, so it's going to be recorded. So, I mean, I would say don't expect anything crazy to happen next week. And then the next week after that would be the go-home show, I'm pretty sure. And then it's Survivor Series already. So, I don't know. Hopefully they're able to do something to get me excited for Survivor Series, because right now I'm not too excited for it. I'm like, there's a few matches, but they need to do a little bit better building here. Do some stuff over the next few weeks. Get me intrigued to watch this show. I mean, I assume we're going to see some type of a Raw invasion of SmackDown, either maybe tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. I heard they were going to do it next week, being that both shows are going to be in Manchester, England, so it would be an ideal time to do it. So I expect maybe we'll see that next week. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, I don't know. I just hope the build's better, because right now Survivor Series, for me at least, and for a lot of people, I think, just isn't like, it doesn't feel like a Big Four pay-per-view. It just doesn't have that Big Four pay-per-view feel right now. It just feels like kind of just another pay-per-view, whatever. I mean, they really made Survivor Series out to be basically the old bragging rights pay-per-view from a few years ago, where they had, it was like 2009 and 2010 or whatever, Raw versus SmackDown, the whole thing. And I don't hate the whole Raw versus SmackDown thing that much. I think they're pushing it a little too much. That's where I get to the point where I hate it, like, where they're just like everything, the entire show is centered around that. That's where it just gets me pissed off. When they have a few matches that are like Raw versus SmackDown, they kind of did that last year, if you remember. I mean, not everything was like, straight up Raw versus SmackDown, champion versus champion or whatever. I remember last year it was like they had actually, what was it, The Miz and Sami Zayn had a match. It was a cross-brand match, but it was for a title. There's like no title matches at all this Sunday. I mean, 2 weeks or whatever it is from now. It's Survivor Series. It's just title versus title, you know what I mean? And then the big 5-on-5 matches. So I don't know. That I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool if they put all the titles on the line, but they wouldn't do that, because then it'd be like, that wouldn't make no sense if someone won and took the title to the other brand. That wouldn't make any sense, obviously. So I don't know. Well, never know. Survivor Series could be good. It could be. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have we seen cards that look like shit and turned out to be actually pretty good shows? So I mean, especially with being Survivor Series, usually they could maybe pull something out there and do something good or whatever. But we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Raw tonight, I don't know what to give it out of a 10. Maybe like a 4. I mean, I don't know. I kind of was like I was out of it kind of tonight, so I don't want to give a too low a rating. I mean, I feel like maybe it does deserve a lower rating than what it was, but because it just didn't feel like there was anything eventful that happened really tonight, other than like a few things. Like Braun Strowman and all the returns that happened in like the first hour of the show. Other than that, you know what I mean? Like that second hour all the way up until when Braun Strowman returned was just like dead, like sleep. It was just sleeping time right there. There was nothing going on. It was just a bunch of Kane and matches and cruiserweights and nonsense and just nothing worth watching, to be honest. So, I mean, that's it, though, guys, for the Raw review here. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow here on the Glorious Podcast with my SmackDown live review. Hopefully, SmackDown's better than Raw, because, I mean, I don't know. SmackDown's been bad the past few weeks, so, I mean, it gives you reason to think maybe it will be good this week, but who knows what's going to happen. Hopefully it is, though, because, Raw was pretty bad tonight.